welcome back. I'm just out for a walk. It's January now and we've had this beautiful snowfall, and also along with the snowfall a little bit of sunshine and calm wind. I haven't been going very far because I haven't wanted to drive my van in the snow, and I've just been walking with Sky quite a lot, so just staying really close to home. So today it's hard to describe because it's just so beautiful. The snow's lying around and the sun's out, the skies are blue, but then there's snow showers coming over occasionally, and the light is just, it's phenomenal because it's that beautiful low winter light and that warm light that's just hitting everything at a really low angle. So it's the best, really. I've got to say it's the best. And Sky's got a little red coat on and she's prancing about in the snow. She likes it. She goes a little bit loopy when she sees snow and she just twirls around. I've really slowed down this winter and just embraced it, and I really like dark cozy evenings and open fires and whilst weather is like beating against the window. But this does naturally slow your whole body down, I think, and this idea isn't new because I mean animals hibernate, don't they? And Catherine May even wrote a whole book about rest and retreat called Wintering. Now I think one of the things I just wanted to talk about today was this idea of how do you slow down and yet keep up with content creation. So like even this podcast and all the things that I put out on social media, I love doing, absolutely love doing, but I'm trying to marry that with a slower life that doesn't feel quite so pressured. Well, I want to share more of my life in Harris, but I've never managed to get a handle on how to do so in like an enjoyable and smooth and kind of natural way. And this winter, as it came around, I knew I needed to drop some things, and just so I stopped doing things. I didn't record any podcasts for quite a while. I had some that were recorded and needed release, so I put those out. So blogging, I'd stopped and started all my life, and as like my website's changed and the tech changed, and it becomes a chore to figure out how to do this, and then I stopped and started with it, but I still had this desire to write. So now YouTube, I really like videoing my life, but it is really time consuming putting videos together, and it also kind of defeats the whole message if I film like my every move, because I'm talking about slowing down and being in the moment and enjoying nature, but I have to set up a tripod and make sure that I'm in the frame, to make sure I've got it, and then to go back and then to do it again, and then to move the tripod on the next move. So it almost a little bit counterintuitive to me. A few years ago I put some footage together with narration over it, and I did this from a place of wanting to express something. I was feeling something very deeply myself. I was struggling with something, or it was something that I wanted to really express, so I kind of put them together and then just left them there, and then I went back to the usual, here's my day as a landscape photographer, and this is what I shot and this is how I shot it. And I kind of realised that it wasn't fitting. I was following the crowd, because that's what you do on YouTube, that's what photographers do. So I abandoned it actually in the end. It was too time consuming, it felt like the wrong audience, and it didn't feel quite right for me. So that's where I ended up, sort of at the end of this year. So basically, to cut it short, I started a Substack a couple of months ago. I actually had it for 2 years before I started it. I was just watching for a while because I didn't want to start something else that felt like a chore. So I was just watching to see what was right. And then I first thought, well, actually, this looks quite good. Kind of nice, light and fresh and supportive. So I called it Quiet Moments because I first thought, well, I'll just write about these beautiful moments like the one actually that I'm experiencing right now with the light coming out in the snow and the colours just popping, and this just beautiful serenity. I'm actually standing near the road at the moment, and we've had one car pass in about 20 minutes. So I just wanted to share these beautiful moments with you. So I thought, well, that's what I'll do. And so my first post was actually about starting and how hard it is actually to start something new. And then I released it, and I enjoyed it. I'm starting to meet new people. People are responding to it, and it's a nice kind of really new and fresh way to share more deeper writing. And then I started to see the possibility to streamline things. So this is where it gets interesting for me. where everything becomes easier because I'm putting my podcasts, my videos, my images, my writing about life, and it all sort of feels like it's come together finally. That's the first time, and I've been self-employed for 20 years trying to figure this stuff out, so I'm really happy. And interestingly enough, just at the beginning of this, when I was just thinking about it, I thought, well, I'll maybe just encourage a few of the members on my online membership group onto Substack. And this was just after writing my first post. And what I wanted to share with you today is my thoughts on why I thought that would be a good idea for them, because not all of them want to make a career out of it, want to be paid or, really have a lot of subscribers or anything. So you sort of think, well, what's the point in putting your work out there if you're just doing it for yourself? So here are the reasons that I think it is a good idea for everybody to keep writing and to share your work on Substack. So for one, it helps you write more. It kind of encourages you to write. It gives you a place to do it and a place to publish it. And there's a possibility of others joining in and listening and reading. Now, you can just write for yourself, and that would be my advice. Just write for yourself. Do not worry if anybody is subscribing to you or replies to you or makes a comment or anything. Write for yourself. If nobody listens, it doesn't matter. Do it for yourself. It'll give you the motivation to write a little bit more and to schedule. You can give yourself, say, write one post every 2 months if you want to. There's a plane just passing overhead. Okay. Secondly, you learn to put your words out into the world, and this is the big one for me. This idea of practice and confidence. If you read my first Substack post, it was about starting and how hard it is and how we can put it off for so long because our first post is daunting. Our first anything is daunting. But once you get past that first, you get this little bit of confidence. Now, we don't just get confidence. Confidence comes through the doing. And the more that you do it, the more confident you get and the easier it gets and the more joyful it becomes. So each time I write now, it's really joyous and it's easier, and I feel more confident with each time, and I think that would be the same for you. And number 3, community. I think it's a huge factor, is finding community. And I think that applies to just everything we do in life, particularly creative pursuits where we need people around us to encourage us and to motivate us and to uplift us and to help. It's really, really important. I have a lot of people around me that are creative, and I really, really value that. And I think it's really important to find your tribe here. And they don't have to be in person, it can be online. It's one of those things that it's well known that we feel better as human beings when we are part of things. It's just human nature to want to connect. Now, what happened to me was coincidence. In my time off this winter, I had time to explore and find this new platform. I've been working on this idea of visual meditations where I am putting together all the things that I love doing. So that's the videos of my home in Harris, narrating, using those words to help other people. So it's more like I'm not actually filming myself. I've already got that footage and I'll narrate over it. The narration is all my own words, and it comes from a place of, usually I'm thinking of a specific person or myself and what moment it is, what circumstance do you need those words. Is it grief? Is it feeling not good enough? Is it just needing a little bit of a motivation to be creative? There's lots of things going on there. What I'd like to do is start writing for other people. If anybody does want to take part in that, please email me and just let me know what's going on, and I'd be really interested to see if I can create a meditation for you specifically. The plane's going by again. It seems awful loud when everything's always so quiet here when a plane goes over. In other news, I will be launching another writing retreat in Wales, because the last one was just absolutely fantastic. Everything seemed to come together. Sometimes it takes years for things to come together, and it really did on the writing retreat in Wales in this year with Sean Tucker. I think the location, the really beautiful big house really helped, and the little beach in front of the house There was 2 kitchens, so we were able to do some really nice home cooking, and that really kind of contributed to that homely feel. We had little workshops in the morning of writing, and then just a lot of space for everybody, with options just to have their own time, or to go for a little swim, or to do some writing, or to have a nap, or whatever it is they wanted to do. And that's really the heart of the word retreat, isn't it? It's really that ability to choose between having a little bit of community, having time with other people, a little bit of inspiration, and then as much time as you want by yourself to really get deep into that creative expression. And I also have a soft spot for South Wales because I was at university around the corner from the house, so the coastline there is just something special to me. So bearing in mind it did sell out really quickly last time, I thought I'd give people plenty notice on this time. And I'll soon be releasing the final details for the Creative Light Festival in October in Harris. It's proving really nice to have so many local people taking part. I've got Mary Law from Lewis and John Marr, who is actually just lives 10 minutes from me. He does the most incredible, how do I call it, quirky, interesting, alternate landscapes. He was the lead drummer in the Buzzcocks, and he's just like the most interesting person, so he'll be giving a talk to us. And I'm just trying to get more locals involved in this and giving you a flavour of Harris. And Harris Distillery have allowed us to use the distillery for a couple of hours before dinner on one night, so we're all going to go for a drink there. And we've also added in an exhibition, so just be nice to see one piece of everybody's work put up at the community centre, which is where the talks will be. And we're putting on some extra days because it's a long way to come. So I've said to everybody, if you're coming and you want to stay a little bit longer, beforehand we'll put on some extra days workshops, which are just additional opt-in. Do Adrian Beasley's come up with a wonderful thing called wild photo bookmaking. He's taking everybody to Hoosnish to shoot, and there's a tourist shelter place with tables and toilets, and just right opposite the beach that you're allowed to use. So he's taking everybody in there to print and to make a little book. And me and Karine are doing a Finding Your Voice Through Art journaling at my gallery, which will be open by then. James will be doing extra photography days, and I'm doing a more gentle tour of Harris, like looking around, going to meet the artists, and probably having lots of coffee and cake on the way and a lot of chat. So all those things are going on in October in Harris. So all those details will go out on the newsletter, and you can also see the details on my website, margaretsoraya.com. So that's it from me. I'm off to enjoy a little bit more sunshine and snow. I'll take care for now.